Tonight, the class of 2018 received their diplomas for their outstanding efforts and accomplishments here at Vista Alternative High School. I am Mrs. Lara Campbell, principal, and on behalf of the class of 2018, we have some requests of our audience this evening. We would like to remind you that this is a very important occasion. Please respect our graduates as they give their speeches and accept their diplomas by withholding talking and yelling during the speeches and the ceremony. So relax, remain seated until the tassel tradition at the end of the ceremony, and thank you for joining us. Now join me in welcoming our class of 2018. Class of 2018, please be seated. Good evening and welcome to Vista Alternative High School's annual commencement exercises. Tonight, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Celeste Gallegos, and the COFA High School JROTC cadets will lead us in celebrating America by the presentation of the colors. Will you please stand and join us? I pledge it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce tonight's honored guest, Honorable Justice Andrew Gold from the Arizona Supreme Court, Mr. David Lara, Governing Board Member, Mrs. Gina Thompson, Superintendent, Ms. Lisa Anderson, Associate Superintendent. Thank you all for joining us this evening.
Welcome, Lobo class of 2018. I want to start my message with a quote. The strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. This phrase comes from British poet and author Rudyard Kipling. Keep this quote in the back of your brains because there will be a quiz at the end of this. At Vista, we howl by building hope, opportunity, work ethic, and leadership for all members of our school community. Tonight, as you prepare to head out into the real world, I want to share a few thoughts with you about hope. Every year, the Lobo staff and I learn a great deal from the young adults like you that we have the honor of serving. When the Lobo staff identified our theme for the 2017-2018 school year, little did I know that all of you sitting before me today would be the ones to teach me the biggest life lessons about hope. Hope is that glimmer at the end of the tunnel. Hope is the candlelight in the dark room. It's the first star to pierce the night sky. You see, hope is about believing in yourself and your dreams, even when others have told you you can't, even when everything seems stacked against you. Hope is what keeps the human heart, mind, and spirit striving to overcome against all odds. The Lobo family is made up of students from across Yuma County. I believe that in many ways, we represent the most diverse campus in the Yuma Union High School District. The Lobo staff and I have had the honor to stand beside many of you in both your best and in some of your most difficult times since you have joined the Lobo family. We have lost and continue to grieve for our beautiful Lobo, Vanya Valtierra, who is surely here in spirit tonight. As a Lobo family, we have laughed with you, cried with you, and we've even raised our voices at each other's a few times, as families do. But also, as families do, we are here tonight to celebrate each and every one of you, because most of all, we are proud of all that you have become in your very short time as a part of the Wolf Pack. You made it. You made it through the difficult times. You looked fear and doubt in the eyes, and you conquered them. You proved naysayers wrong. This, my pack members, is the power of hope. Each of you rose above the challenges. You didn't let mistakes or setbacks define you. And you proved that there was good reason to have hope, because here you are this evening. You made it, but not to the finish line. You made it to the starting line of the rest of your lives. As a Lobo family, we've supported each other through some ups and downs, and each of you will always be a member of the Lobo Pack. So, back to our quote and quiz. Are you ready? The strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. So here's your quiz. Who learned more this year? You or me? We're all a part of the Vista Lobo Pack, but this year I truly believe I have learned more about hope and overcoming adversity from all of you, because you are my pack. You have been my strength, even though you never knew I was relying on you, and you didn't let me down. Hope. You have all reminded me to believe in the power of hope. I thank each and every one of you tonight for that priceless gift. On behalf of the Lobo staff, we can honestly say we are extremely fortunate and proud to serve the Vista Lobo community. So go forth and howl, class of 2018. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our senior class representatives to deliver this evening's class messages. Will Mr. Brandon Castillo please join me on the stage?
Good evening, fellow graduates, parents, teachers, and staff. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Brenda Steel. First, I would like to say thank you to everyone that is here tonight for coming to this very important event, our graduation. For some of us, getting to this point of our high school graduation was not a smooth road. On the contrary, the road was very bumpy with major obstacles along the way. Our high school journey was made up of different types of struggles with our family, hard times with academics, and all types of peer pressure. During my sophomore year, I made a bad choice while attending Kofa High School. I was recommended to a long-term suspension, which landed me at Strategies for Success. I guess you could say that was a turning point in my high school years. Knowing I let the people which I love down, especially myself, made me realize I could start making better choices. After I completed my long-term suspension at SFS, that is when I came to Vista Alternative High School, home of the Lobos, the best decision of my high school years. Vista teachers really gave me the academic and emotional support I needed to be successful and to be here in front of you today. If Vista did not exist, I can assure you that most of us would not be here today. Am I right? With that said, I would like to say thank you to everyone at Vista Alternative, especially to all the teachers. If I could mention each teacher's name that made a difference in my education, I would have to mention them all. Because each teacher here tonight has helped me and all the students, whether in their classroom or not. Vista is the true meaning of team support. We all know that team stands for together, everyone accomplishes more. I also want to take this opportunity to say thank you to my parents, Elia and Moises. Thank you for your unconditional love and support. Without you, I wouldn't be here tonight. Thank you to my fellow students. Thank you for being my friends and always sticking by my side during difficult times. As I stand here before you, I know I represent some of you, if not most of you. The journey may have been rough, but it was worth it. We finished strong in class of 2018. Be proud of who you are and what you have accomplished. No one is in the way of accomplishing more and the dreams of yourself. Never doubt your abilities to succeed. I leave you tonight with the very wise words of Zig Ziglar. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. The best is yet to come. Thank you and have a great night.
And now I would like to welcome to the stage Miss Michaela Belen and Miss Marissa Gill.
Good evening, family, friends, and fellow graduates. When we took our first steps into the halls of high school, this day seemed so far. Now today we are here to celebrate our accomplishment, an accomplishment that we wouldn't have been able to achieve without the guidance and encouragement our teachers gave. My first years of high school weren't the best. I stopped going to school my sophomore year and began doing online. I slacked and missed the majority of my sophomore and junior year. I lost hope and didn't believe that I would be graduating on time. But here I am, here at this very moment, not only walking the line, but given the opportunity to be on the stage speaking to all of you. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of my family, friends, teachers, and the extra push from Ruby and April. I just want to say thank you all for believing in me when I couldn't believe in myself, for pushing me not to give up, and I know I'm not alone in feeling this way.
I've been there too. My name is Michaela Belen. At the beginning of my high school career, I didn't believe I was going to graduate in 4 years, let alone 3. I wouldn't have been able to do this without people like Ruby, my parents, family, friends, and teachers. Now the long path we've all been traveling on splits into many different roads. No matter how hard it gets or how lost any of you may feel when beginning your new journey, hold on to hope and keep it alive. I'll miss you, high school, and the people I've met along the way. Thank you, Vista, for the memories that we'll treasure forever and giving us the opportunity to overcome challenges and earn our diplomas. Congratulations, everyone. We wish you all the best.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest speaker, the Honorable Justice Andrew Gruel.
Thank you, Mrs. Campbell, and thank you for having me here tonight. When Chris Franey, one of your teachers, asked me to come and speak, I told him that I would love to come back. I don't think he knew at the time that I had spoken last year. When I came down last year, it was a difficult time for me. My mother had just died. It had been about 3 weeks since she had passed away, and I was obviously experiencing a lot of grief at the time. And I had been asked at that time by Phil Thompson to come down who was on the school board. I didn't know what to expect. I had lived in Yuma for a number of years. I was a judge down here before I became a judge on the Supreme Court. And I was familiar with Vista School, but I had not had a lot of contact with it. And it was the most remarkable graduation that I had ever been to in my life. I was amazed at the enthusiasm of the students. I was amazed at the enthusiasm of the parents. I thought in my heart, this is what every graduation should be. And I suspect it's because this graduation for all of you probably means a little bit more than someone who goes to the traditional high school. You've had to struggle a little bit more. Your families have had to struggle a little bit more. And so I was very encouraged and anxious to come down here to see it again, because as I said a moment ago, it is the most remarkable graduation that I've been to. And I had 2 children that graduated from high school, and it was inspirational to me and lifted me up at a time where I was feeling very down and a lot of grief. For the students, I would ask you to think about something. You're very young now, and I was sitting up here with Mr. Lara. We were talking about how excited all of you must be as you walked in. And you should be. You've accomplished something. It takes a lot to get through high school. It requires a lot of learning, a lot of commitment, a lot of time. But this is just the beginning for you. It doesn't end here. And I would encourage you to go on. Life is about education. Whether it's going to college or learning a trade, you're always going to have to learn things. And so accept it and understand that it's part of life, and it's part of growing, and it's part of learning things and getting new skills in a job. But I want you to think about something tonight as you graduate. Every one of you has somebody out in this audience that's here for you. Every one of you has somebody out here who has inspired you. someone that you're proud of and that you want to make proud. And I want you to remember that person, not only tonight, but for the rest of your life. Let that person continue to inspire you. Whatever they did to get you here, carry that around in your heart with you everywhere you go and all the challenges you have in your life. My inspiration in my life was my mother. And she's not here anymore, but I carry her around in my heart. She inspired me to go to school. She inspired me to do things. And every one of you has somebody like that. Let them continue to inspire you to achieve everything. Remember that you don't do these things alone, that it takes an effort, that somebody helped get you here. And not only to let that person inspire you, but to remember you owe them something. You owe them every effort you have. You owe them the effort to be the best you can be, because they've given up a lot for you. I think about my mother when I was growing up, but also after I became a lawyer and I became a judge. She never had anything. She never had any money. In fact, she helped me get through law school with her Social Security disability checks. That's how I made it through. But after I became a lawyer and then I became a judge, I remember I would take her to dinner. And every time the waiter or waitress would come over to the table, before they could even take our first order, they'd say, "This is my son, he's a judge." And it would embarrass me. But I look back on that now, how proud she was. And I shouldn't have been embarrassed, she was proud. Because she had helped me accomplish that, and she felt like she had succeeded in something in her life. And that's the way your family and friends feel tonight. They're proud of you. So when they brag about you tonight, whatever your plans are, whatever parties you go to, and everything you accomplish in life, let them brag about you a little bit, because it means a lot to them. I'm going to give you a piece of advice, and I would like you to think about this. Tonight is a success. Most of life is dealing with failure. But we make it through those failures, we make it through those tough times because of nights like this. Because we know that it's not always about failure. That if we keep trying and we persevere, we can feel success. We can do something right. And that's what each and every one of you has done. You've made it through difficult times, either coming to the school or getting through school. You've had to persevere through a lot of failure, through a lot of things where you didn't get what you wanted, where things didn't work out the way that you had hoped. But tonight, they have. And that's what keeps us going, is that we persevere knowing that we can succeed. And what you've done by graduating is you've proven to yourself that you can persevere and you can succeed. And as you go on in life and you deal with disappointments and things that don't work out the right way, remember tonight. Remember that you can push on and you can succeed. Thank you.
At this time, Superintendent Gina Thompson will certify the class of 2018 for graduation.
Good evening. It's such an honor to be here this evening, but I would like to bring with me and actually turn the honor of certifying this class over to our governing board member, David Lara. I think it's important to know for the people in the audience, and especially the graduates, how important you are to the community. Governing board members are voluntary positions. They have put themselves out on ballot and they are elected by our community members. Contrary to popular belief, and most especially my favorite is Facebook, governing board members do not earn a penny. They are truly volunteers for the community, and it is because they are deeply committed to our students. So I would like to, at this time, turn over the honor of certifying this class to Governing Board Member David Lara.
Good evening. Y muy buenas noches. ¿Cómo están todos? How's everybody doing? All right. Good deal. I just want to say hi from there. You folks must be pumped. And I'll tell you something. I'm anxious to see you up here. I'm probably more fired up than you are. So I'll speed up, okay? This is good. I'm a little bit shorter here than Mr. Gruel. By the authority vested in my Arizona State Board of Education and the Governing Board of Yuma Union High School District, I hereby accept and certify the Vista Alternative High School class of 2018 as duly qualified for graduation. They have met all the requirements of the state of Arizona and the Yuma Union High School District. The 2018 class of Vista Alternative High School qualifies for all the rights and privileges associated with a graduation and diploma. May I be the first to officially congratulate you as graduate of Vista Alternative High School. So, congratulations. Felicidades.
Thank you, Mr. Lara and Ms. Thompson. The class of 2018 will be introduced this evening by Mrs. Ruby Camarillo.
Celeste Brianne Gallegos. Brandon Lee Castillo. Michaela Marie Belen. Marissa Raya Mendez Gill. Andrea Nathalie Arana. Fernando Barragán. Devin Israel Bohannon. Elise Victoria Briceño. Sergio Carvajal Escobar. Stephen Tyler Clark. Aaliyah Marie Bates. Joe Cortez. Aldair Ledesma Espinosa. Odalis Mercedes Figueroa. Jada Celeste Garcia. Genaro Nicolás Garza. Nayeli Yasmain Gutierrez. Leela Rose Beck Hawkins. David Irales. Isaiah Daniel Hoya. Giselle Cortez Ledesma. Elizabeth Lynn Logan. Cynthia Machado. Adriana May Emily Madrid. José Alonso Martínez. Gladys Salcedo Millán. Alejandro Rivas Miranda Jr. Thomas Connor Liam Nelson. Guillermo Jesús Olea. Angel Aubrian Rodriguez. José Rubio Armenta.
Thank you, Ms. Camarillo. And not to poke fun at our student council advisor, Mr. Moya, but he was fired from pronouncing names this morning, and Ms. Camarillo was hired, all by vote of students. So thank you, Ms. Camarillo. And thank you, Mr. Moya. Graduates, please stand. You may now move your tassel from right to left. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Vista Alternative High School, it is with great pride that I present to you the class of 2018.